Hey everyone, welcome back to Immediate Movie Reactions. I'm here after seeing Jurassic World Rebirth. This movie is sponsored by Frito-Lay's and the Mars Company because the products are plastered everywhere. In fact, this entire movie jumps off with the facility being broken down, the entire security system disabled by a Snickers bar wrapper, which nobody sees fly into a fan, even though multiple people walk by it. And then from there, the bad decisions and bad plot choices continue. Now, I would love to continue to say that this movie is terrible because the last movie was freaking awful. And I think, realistically, there's only been one good Jurassic Park movie, and that was the very first one. The second one was maybe okay. The Jurassic World was fine, considering it wasn't god-awful. Most of the rest of them have been really, really bad. And I think the crimes of the last movie were really that the dinosaurs sucked. They were terrible looking. That is mostly addressed. They look really good in here, even though I do have to geek out a little bit here and say that pterosaurs are not dinosaurs, and the way they continue to represent dinosaurs, we know now is not realistic. Especially at one point they have titanosaurs that are also hairy, which doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. So what is this movie really about? What this movie is Scarlett Johansson, who is in the movie basically because she's gorgeous and she's a bankable star. I see no other reason why she fits this role, but other than that, it's fine. She is security extraction specialist sort of thing, and she is enlisted along with, a random scientist to go and collect 3 DNA genetic samples because they can use that to now create a cure for heart disease, or at least postpone heart disease by 20 years, something like that. All the dinosaurs that have been built up through the Jurassic World franchise are now dying off. They can only exist in this specific band around the equator, and so they have to go there. Of course, it's a no-fly zone, but of course there's also no one that actually checks on that, so they're able to easily, well, not so easily get in, because obviously shit goes bad, right? That's what happens in these movies. Someone makes a bad decision, bad mechanical failure, whatever. And, that was what Malcolm told us, is that we know that the more the butterfly wings flap, the more things are going to go wrong. And so obviously it does. There's a family that randomly gets involved with this. There's a bunch of NPCs, unnamed characters, who die somewhat gloriously, although unfortunately some of them are sort of off screen. I will have to say, no judgment here, but there was some younger kids in this movie. It is quite intense, I think, in scenes, even though most of the actual deaths they're not very bloody, and some of them do happen off screen, so it's not really that big of a deal. It harkens back to the first movie and the chase with the velociraptors, even though they're forgotten because this is the island of misfit dinosaurs, even though there's also a T-Rex, which is the dumbest animal in the world, apparently. And that's kind of what happens, is they get themselves into a lot of trouble, and then they hide behind a rock or go underwater or throw a flare, and the dinosaurs just wander away so that they can get to the next dinosaur. The big bad guy in this is, I believe it's the D-Rex. I'm assuming that's Diablos Rex, something like that. It's fine. It's goofy looking, makes no sense, but this is the big mutant, and it is in the movie for 5 to 10 minutes and is, I don't know, kind of boring. It doesn't really do a whole lot, and it's easily fooled, and is just an excuse for random explosions and more people dying. I know I'm very, very negative on this. However, I will have to say this is a great theater movie. This is a movie that is a lot of fun. It is better than any of the Jurassic World movies that have come before. And I don't know, I'm assuming this is going to go into a franchise. I don't know what the actual box office take is right now, but I'm assuming it's going to be successful. Here I am a couple weeks out. It's a Tuesday night. There's still a lot of people at the theater. So cool. And again, it's not as bad as the other ones, which is such a weird positive thing to say about this, is that it's not that bad. So anyways, these are movies that I really, really want to like, and I usually end up not liking them. So I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm going to give this movie a 7 just because I think it is something that we should see in the theater. I think it is huge. It's cinematic. It's a great summer movie. I will say, Probably in IMAX if you can, because the film quality in this was shit. It was pretty terrible. Very grainy at spots, especially when it's dark. It was hard to see. It really looked like it was, 1993 all over again. Anyways, there we are. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you off to the next movie.